Welcome to Knowitrix, where curiosity becomes clarity. If you love learning, thinking deeper, and understanding the world in a smarter way, you're in the right place. Every great marketer begins with one question: who am I speaking to? Digital marketing isn't about shouting into the void. It's about connecting with the right people, at the right time, in the right way. Understanding your audience is the foundation of every successful campaign. Without it, even the most creative content or expensive ads will miss the mark. Your audience isn't just a demographic. It's a living, breathing community with emotions, motivations, and problems waiting to be solved. When you understand what they care about, you stop selling and start helping. That's when marketing becomes meaningful. The process begins with audience research. You gather data from analytics, social media insights, surveys, and competitor studies. You look for patterns: age, location, interests, income, behavior, and pain points. These clues reveal who your ideal customer really is. Next comes segmentation, dividing your audience into smaller, more specific groups. Not everyone wants the same thing. Some are beginners, some are experts. Some want quick results, others want deep learning. Segmentation helps you tailor your message so each group feels like you're speaking directly to them. Then we build buyer personas, fictional profiles that represent your ideal customers. A persona has a name, a job, goals, challenges, and habits. For example, Ravi, 28, aspiring digital marketer, wants to learn SEO to get freelance clients. When you write content or design ads, you imagine speaking to Ravi. This makes your marketing human, not robotic. Understanding your audience also means understanding their journey. What triggers their interest? What questions do they ask before buying? What objections hold them back? Mapping this journey helps you create content that guides them step by step toward trust and conversion. Emotion plays a huge role. People don't buy products, they buy feelings. They buy confidence, convenience, belonging, and success. When your message taps into emotion, it resonates deeper. That's why storytelling works. It connects logic with feeling. Modern tools make audience understanding easier than ever. Google Analytics shows who visits your site. Meta Insights reveal who engages with your posts. Keyword tools show what people search for. Together, they paint a complete picture of your audience's world. But data alone isn't enough. You must listen, read comments, join communities, and observe conversations. Real insights come from empathy, not spreadsheets. When you truly understand your audience, you stop guessing and start connecting. In digital marketing, your audience is your compass. Every strategy, every campaign, every creative decision should point toward them. Because when you understand your audience, you don't just market. You build relationships that last. Market research and competitor analysis. Before you create a campaign, design a funnel, or write a single piece of content, you must understand the landscape you're entering. Market research and competitor analysis are the tools that reveal the truth: what people want, what gaps exist, and what your competitors are doing to win attention. Without this knowledge, you're marketing blind. Market research begins with understanding demand. What are people searching for? What problems are they trying to solve? What trends are rising or fading? Tools like Google Trends, Keyword Planner, and social listening platforms show you what the world is talking about. These insights help you align your strategy with real-world needs, not assumptions. Next, you study your industry landscape. Every market has patterns, pricing norms, customer expectations, common frustrations, and emerging opportunities. When you understand these patterns, you can position your brand more intelligently. You stop guessing what works and start building strategies based on evidence. Competitor analysis takes this a step further. Your competitors are not obstacles, they are teachers. They show you what the market responds to, what content performs well, what offers convert, and where the gaps are. By studying them, you learn what to replicate, what to avoid, and what to improve. Start by identifying your direct competitors, brands offering the same product or service, and your indirect competitors, brands competing for the same audience attention. Then analyze their websites, social media, ads, content, and customer reviews. Look for patterns. What topics do they focus on? What formats do they use? What promises do they make? What complaints do customers repeat? These clues reveal opportunities. A competitor's weakness can become your strength. A gap in their content can become your advantage. A frustration in their reviews can become your unique selling point. Tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs, and SimilarWeb make competitor analysis even deeper. You can see what keywords they rank for, what backlinks they earn, what ads they run, and how much traffic they generate. This data gives you a blueprint of their strategy and a roadmap to outperform them. But the goal isn't to copy competitors, it's to differentiate. Your brand must offer something they don't: a better experience, clearer messaging, stronger value, or a unique angle. Differentiation is what makes your audience choose you, even in a crowded market. Market research and competitor analysis also help you predict trends. When you see what people are searching for, what content is rising, and what competitors are investing in, you can move early. Early movers often dominate because they build authority before the trend peaks. In digital marketing, knowledge is leverage. The brands that win are the ones that understand their market better than anyone else. When you combine audience insights with market intelligence and competitor awareness, your strategy becomes sharper, smarter, and far more effective. Creating buyer personas. If understanding your audience is the foundation, then creating buyer personas is the blueprint. A buyer persona transforms raw data into a living, relatable character, someone you can visualize, speak to, and design your entire marketing strategy around. Without personas, your messaging becomes generic. With personas, your marketing becomes laser-focused. A buyer persona is a fictional representation of your ideal customer, built from real research, real behavior, and real motivations. It's not just a demographic profile, it's a story. A persona has a name, a background, goals, frustrations, habits, and decision-making patterns. When you create content, write ads, or design funnels, you imagine speaking directly to this person. That clarity changes everything. The process begins with collecting insights. You gather data from analytics, surveys, interviews, social media comments, customer reviews, and competitor research. You look for patterns. What problems do people repeatedly mention? What goals do they share? What objections stop them from buying? Next, you define the core elements of the persona: name and identity. A simple name like Asha, the beginner marketer, or Ravi, the small business owner, makes the persona feel real. Background: their job, experience level, lifestyle, and daily routine. Goals: what they want to achieve, both short-term and long-term. Challenges: the obstacles holding them back. Motivations: the emotional triggers that influence their decisions. Preferred platforms: where they spend time online. Buying behavior: how they research, compare, and decide. A powerful persona goes beyond logic. It taps into emotion. For example, a persona might not just want to learn digital marketing. They might want confidence, financial stability, or a career change. When you understand the emotional layer, your messaging becomes more human and more persuasive. Personas also help you avoid one of the biggest marketing mistakes: assuming your audience thinks like you. They don't. Personas force you to step into their world, their fears, their desires, their language. This shift makes your content more relatable and your offers more compelling. Most businesses have multiple personas. A digital marketing course, for example, might attract students, freelancers, entrepreneurs, and working professionals, each with different goals and challenges. By creating separate personas, you can tailor your content and campaigns to each group without diluting your message. Once your personas are created, they become your North Star. Every headline, every video, every ad, every email should answer one question: would this resonate with my persona? If the answer is no, You refine it until it does. Buyer personas turn marketing from guesswork into precision. They help you speak clearly, connect deeply, and convert consistently. When you know exactly who you're talking to, your marketing stops feeling like marketing. It becomes a conversation. Customer journey mapping. Every customer takes a journey before they buy. A path shaped by curiosity, questions, emotions, and decisions. Customer journey mapping is the process of visualizing that path, so you can guide your audience with clarity instead of leaving their experience to chance. When you understand the journey, you stop pushing people to buy and start leading them naturally toward the decision. The journey begins with awareness. This is the moment someone discovers your brand for the first time. Maybe they saw a reel, read a blog, clicked an ad, or heard about you from a friend. At this stage, they don't know you, trust you, or understand what you offer. Your goal is simple: spark interest. Strong hooks, relatable problems, and valuable content make your first impression unforgettable. Next comes consideration. Now the audience is exploring. They're reading your posts, watching your videos, comparing your solutions, and evaluating whether you're worth their time. This is where you educate, explain, and build authority. Tutorials, case studies, testimonials, and FAQs help them understand why your solution matters. Then we move to decision. This is the most delicate stage. The customer is close to taking action, but still has doubts. Your job is to remove friction. Clear pricing, strong guarantees, persuasive landing pages, and simple checkout flows turn hesitation into confidence. At this point, every detail matters, from the headline to the call to action. After the decision comes purchase. But the journey doesn't end here. In fact, this is where long-term success begins. A smooth onboarding experience, helpful emails, and supportive communication make customers feel valued. When people feel cared for, they stay longer, buy more, and trust deeper. The next stage is retention. Keeping a customer is far more profitable than acquiring a new one. Retention is built through consistent value, newsletters, exclusive content, loyalty rewards, and personalized recommendations. When customers feel connected to your brand, they don't just return, they become loyal. Finally, the journey leads to advocacy. This is where customers transform into promoters. They share your content, recommend your brand, leave reviews, and bring new people into your ecosystem. Advocacy is the most powerful form of marketing because it's built on genuine trust, not advertising. Customer journey mapping helps you understand what your audience feels at each stage, their motivations, fears, questions, and expectations. When you map these emotions, you can design content, funnels, and experiences that meet them exactly where they are. A great journey map also reveals gaps. Maybe your awareness content is strong, but your landing page is weak. Maybe people love your product but don't know what to do next. These insights help you fix leaks and strengthen your entire marketing system. In digital marketing, the brands that win are the ones that guide, not push. Customer journey mapping turns your marketing into a seamless experience, one that feels natural, human, and trustworthy. When you master the journey, you master the customer. If you want your marketing to resonate deeply, you must understand two things: what your audience is struggling with and what they truly desire. Pain points and motivations are the emotional engines behind every click, search, and purchase. When you identify them clearly, your marketing stops feeling like persuasion and starts feeling like understanding. A pain point is a problem your audience wants to solve. It could be frustration, confusion, fear, or a barrier holding them back. People don't wake up wanting a product. They wake up wanting relief. Relief from stress, uncertainty, inefficiency, or lack of progress. When your message speaks directly to that pain, your audience feels seen. Motivations are the opposite side of the coin. They represent what your audience wants to achieve, their goals, dreams, and desired outcomes. Motivation is the emotional pull that moves people forward. It's the reason they search, learn, compare, and eventually buy. When your marketing aligns with their motivations, it becomes irresistible. To identify pain points, you must listen more than you speak. You study comments, reviews, forums, and social media conversations. You analyze search queries, how to fix, why can't I, best way to. You observe what frustrates people about existing solutions. Patterns begin to emerge. I don't know where to start. I don't have enough time. I'm overwhelmed by too much information. I'm afraid of making the wrong decision. These are not just problems. They are opportunities. Motivations reveal themselves in similar ways. People express what they want. I want to grow my career. I want financial freedom. I want to feel confident. I want a simple, clear path. These desires are powerful. They guide behavior more strongly than logic ever could. The magic happens when you connect pain points and motivations together. For example, pain. I feel stuck in my career. Motivation. I want a skill that opens new opportunities. Solution. Learn digital marketing step by step and transform your future. This alignment creates messaging that feels personal, relevant, and emotionally true. Pain points also help you refine your product. If people struggle with complexity, you simplify. If they fear commitment, you offer flexibility. If they lack time, you create shortcuts. Marketing becomes easier when your product genuinely solves real problems. Motivations help you craft powerful hooks, headlines, and offers. When you speak to what people want, not what you want to sell, your content becomes magnetic. People don't follow brands, they follow outcomes. Identifying pain points and motivations is not a one-time task. It's an ongoing process. As markets evolve, so do people's needs. The brands that stay close to their audience stay ahead. In digital marketing, the deepest connection comes from empathy. When your audience feels understood, they trust you. And when they trust you, they choose you. Crafting value propositions. A value proposition is the heartbeat of your brand. It's the clearest, simplest expression of why someone should choose you over every other option in the market. When done right, it becomes the anchor for your messaging, your content, your ads, and your entire marketing strategy. When done poorly, even the best campaigns fall flat. A value proposition answers one powerful question. Why should your audience care? Not why your product is great, not why your brand is impressive, but why they should care. What outcome, transformation, or relief you bring into their lives. A strong value proposition is built on 3 pillars: clarity, relevance, and differentiation. Clarity means your message is simple and instantly understandable. No jargon, no complexity, no clever wordplay that confuses more than it convinces. Your audience should grasp your value in seconds. Relevance means your message speaks directly to your audience's pain points and motivations. It connects your solution to their needs. It shows them that you understand their world. Differentiation means your message highlights what makes you unique. What do you offer that others don't? Faster results? Better support? A simpler process? A more affordable option? Your value proposition must make your brand stand out in a crowded market. To craft a powerful value proposition, start with the core problem your audience faces. What frustrates them? What slows them down? What keeps them stuck? Then connect that problem to the outcome your solution delivers. People don't buy features, they buy results. For example, Kane. Digital marketing feels overwhelming. Motivation. I want a clear, structured path. Value proposition. Learn digital marketing step by step with simple, cinematic lessons designed for beginners. This message is clear, relevant, and differentiated. A great value proposition also includes proof. Anyone can make promises, but proof builds trust. Testimonials, case studies, results, and guarantees strengthen your message and reduce doubt. Your value proposition should be visible everywhere: your website, landing pages, social media bios, ads, and even your video intros. Consistency reinforces your identity and helps your audience remember what you stand for. But here's the secret. A value proposition is not just a sentence, it's an experience. Every touchpoint, from your content to your customer support, must reflect the promise you make. If your value proposition says simple, your process must be simple. If it says fast, your delivery must be fast. If it says premium, your design and communication must feel premium. The best value propositions evolve. As your audience grows, your product improves, and your market shifts, your message should adapt. What worked last year may not work today. Staying aligned with your audience keeps your value proposition powerful and relevant. In digital marketing, your value proposition is your identity. It's the reason people stop scrolling, click your ad, watch your video, and eventually choose you. When you craft it with precision and emotion, you don't just attract customers, you attract believers. Audience segmentation strategies. Not all audiences are the same, and not all customers want the same message. Audience segmentation is the art of dividing your audience into meaningful groups so you can speak to each one with precision. When you segment correctly, your marketing becomes sharper, more relevant, and dramatically more effective. Instead of shouting to everyone, you whisper to the right people. Segmentation begins with one truth. People respond to messages that feel personal. A beginner needs guidance. An expert needs depth. A shopper needs reassurance. A loyal customer needs appreciation. When you tailor your communication to each group, your audience feels understood, and understanding builds trust. There are 4 major segmentation strategies every marketer must master. 1. Demographic segmentation. This is the most basic form of segmentation. Age, gender, income, education, job role, and location. While simple, it's powerful. A college student and a business owner may both want digital marketing skills, but their motivations and expectations are completely different. Demographics help you shape tone, pricing, and positioning. 2. Psychographic segmentation. This goes deeper into the mind and emotions of your audience. Psychographics include values, beliefs, lifestyle, personality, and aspirations. This is where true connection happens. People don't buy based on who they are. They buy based on who they want to become. When your message aligns with their identity or ambition, it resonates on a deeper level. Behavioral segmentation. This is segmentation based on actions, what people do, not what they say. What content do they engage with? What products do they browse? How often do they purchase? What emails do they open? What videos do they watch? Behavior reveals intent. When you segment based on behavior, you can deliver hyper-relevant messages at the perfect moment. This is the backbone of retargeting, automation, and personalized funnels. Needs-based segmentation. This is the most strategic form of segmentation. It groups people based on the specific problem they want solved. One person wants speed, another wants simplicity, another wants affordability. Needs-based segmentation helps you craft offers and messaging that feel tailor-made. Segmentation becomes even more powerful when you combine these layers. For example, demographic, working professionals aged 25 to 40. Psychographic, ambitious and career-driven. Behavioral, engages with SEO content. Need, wants a skill upgrade for promotion. This creates a crystal-clear audience segment and a message that hits perfectly. Modern tools make segmentation easier than ever. Google Analytics, Meta Ads Manager, CRM platforms, and email automation tools allow you to group users based on behavior, interests, and engagement. With the right setup, your marketing becomes dynamic, adapting automatically to each user's journey. But segmentation isn't just about dividing people, it's about serving them better. When your audience receives content that feels relevant, they pay attention. When your offers match their needs, they convert. When your communication feels personal, they stay loyal. The brands that win today are the brands that personalize. Segmentation transforms your marketing from generic to meaningful, from broad to precise, from noise to impact. When you master segmentation, you don't just reach your audience, you reach the right audience with the right message at the right time. Building audience profiles. Audience profiles are where all your research finally comes together. If buyer personas are the characters, audience profiles are the world they live in. A structured, data-driven snapshot of who your audience is, how they behave, and what influences their decisions. These profiles help you design marketing strategies that feel intentional, targeted, and deeply relevant. An audience profile is not a guess. It's a carefully assembled picture built from analytics, surveys, behavioral data, and real-world observations. It includes demographics, psychographics, behaviors, needs, motivations, and digital habits. When you build strong audience profiles, you stop creating content for everyone and start creating content for the people who matter most. The process begins with collecting raw data. You pull insights from Google Analytics, Meta Insights, YouTube Analytics, CRM systems, and keyword tools. You look at age groups, locations, devices, browsing patterns, watch time, and engagement. This data reveals who is already interacting with your brand and who you should be targeting next. Next, you layer in psychographic insights. What does your audience value? What do they believe? What inspires them? What scares them? Psychographics help you understand the emotional and psychological drivers behind their decisions. This is where your messaging becomes more human and more persuasive. Then you analyze behavioral patterns. What content do they consume most? What topics do they search for? What platforms do they prefer? What triggers them to take action? What stops them from converting? Behavior tells you what people actually do, not what they claim to do. It's one of the most powerful components of an audience profile. Once you have the data, you begin grouping your audience into meaningful clusters. For example, aspiring digital marketers aged 18 to 25 who prefer video learning and search for beginner-friendly content. Small business owners aged 30 to 45 who want practical marketing strategies and engage with case studies. Freelancers aged 22 to 35 who value flexibility, skill growth, and step-by-step tutorials. Each cluster becomes an audience profile, a clear, structured representation of a real segment of your market. A strong audience profile includes demographics, age, gender, location, income, psychographics, values, interests, aspirations, behaviors, engagement patterns, purchase habits, pain points, what frustrates them, motivations, what drives them, preferred platforms, where they spend time, content preferences, video, blogs, reels, long form, short form, decision triggers, what makes them say yes. These profiles guide everything: your content strategy, ad targeting, funnel design, email sequences, and even your product development. When you know exactly who you're speaking to, your marketing becomes more efficient and more impactful. Audience profiles also help you avoid wasted effort. Instead of creating random content, you create content with purpose. Instead of running broad ads, you run targeted campaigns. Instead of guessing what your audience wants, you deliver exactly what they need. The best marketers revisit their audience profiles regularly. As trends shift, platforms evolve, and new behaviors emerge, your audience changes too. Updating your profiles keeps your strategy sharp and relevant. In digital marketing, clarity is power. Audience profiles give you that clarity, a detailed map of who your audience is and how to reach them. When you build strong profiles, you don't just market better, you connect better. If this video gave you a new perspective, subscribe for more insights from Knowitrix.